Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Where my girls at? Where my girls at? We're getting ready to start in just a few minutes, you guys. I'm so excited. Waiting for our jingle music. Happy Friday, Facebook. Happy Friday. We're excited to be here. And this is going to be a great topic. I know everybody can use this topic. Everybody can use this topic. It's all about the connection. It's all about the connection. It's all about the love and the connection. I love that, Yvonne. She said, where the girls at? Here we come. Here we come. Here comes the jingle right now. I'll be back to you in a minute. Go back to the radio. I got a cool minute. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down on a Friday. On a Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. You are listening to We Got Issues on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation-WFDF, the oldest Black talk radio station, coming to you straight from the D, straight from Detroit. But we are excited that you can hear us all over the world on iHeartRadio. Don't forget to download the 9:10 a.m. Superstation app so that you can take us with you everywhere you go. I am your host, Crisette Ellis from the D, and I am so blessed to be able to hang out with you and with my Force of Friendship girlfriends Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. I'm hanging with Gloria, Caterina, and Sabrina. And you know, they classy, sassy, tacky, shady, messy, nosy, crazy, shady. Okay, yeah, we added that one today because one of these girlfriends, she know how to throw you shade. If shade was an emoji, it would be her picture. Okay, they shady, but we try our best to bring you some love, some light, some laughter, and the lessons. We are positive, powerful, but we are not Pollyanna. And so you guys, we're again excited to be with you on this Friday. And I'm going to tell you, we have a great topic. And you know what? We always love to hear your voice. So call us at 313-778-7600 because we love when you add your voice to the conversation. So I know you want to know, what are the girlfriends talking about today? Well, this is a topic that I know so many of you have experience with. So that's why we want you to call us at 313-778-7600. Today we're talking about how to connect in a new environment. And we're talking about all new environments. We're talking about a neighborhood. Maybe you changed churches and you're in a new church. Maybe you had to put your kids in a new school. Maybe you have traveled and had to and moved to various states because you're in the military. If you've experienced any of those things and you have learned how to master it, hey, we absolutely want to hear from you. So again, give us a call at 313-778-7600. So what do you do when you move to a new neighborhood? How do you break the ice? Well, we're going to talk about all of the new environments that any woman will at any point in their time in life find herself in. And so This is going to be a great conversation. Girlfriends, what's going on in your neck of the woods? I'm telling you right here, it has been raining all day long. And you know, it's like every day we come on, I talk about the rain. I told you, I thought I saw Noah and his ark floating down my street. But I'm telling you, it's been raining all day. Seriously, 3 of our major freeways were flooded today. You should have seen the cars that were floating down the expressway.
Really?
It is serious.
Wow.
And, you know, people are just getting their house cleaned up from the last rain. And a lot of people have flooding as well. So it's a lot going on. You guys, it seems as if all this week and last week, we've been talking about climate change and global warming. And I'm going to tell you, it's important for us to mention it every day. We're going to sound like a broken record because we have to sound the alarm. We have to talk about what is going on in our world, what's going on with the earth. I don't know, you guys, did you all see the news today? And they were talking about extreme weather is everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, it's absolutely everywhere you look, something's going on. They were saying that over 125 people are dead and more than 1,000 people are soon missing after the flash floods ripped up parts of Western Europe. Rescue and recovery efforts are underway in Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. I mean, this is where a river literally swelled and swept through these towns, dragging away a lot of the structures and whatnot. And so, I mean, it's just so awful when you see this. I think you talked about it the other day. They talked about over 1 million acres of wildfires, 71 large wildfires that can be seen from California to New York. Do you know how far California is from New York? Right?
Wow.
So
Crazy.
It is absolutely crazy. And they were talking about today that New York City was under a heat advisory with a heat index of 103 in New York City. 103.
Wow.
Triple digits. So, I mean, this climate change, global warming is something that we cannot sleep on. We got to talk about it. Yes.
Another thing that they said about that is that the scientists said that they saw this coming, but it's worse than they thought it was going to be. The scientists said it's worse than they thought it was going to be. It's coming faster than they thought it was going to come, and it's bigger than they thought it was going to come. So this is it's not only an issue, it's not only a current issue, but it's a quickly growing issue that's affecting us right in front of our eyes. Just like we never thought a COVID situation would come. Now we're literally in. We're no longer saying it's coming. We're like in it.
Wow, Gloria, I mean, you're so right. I mean, this is something that we cannot say we did not know. We cannot say, oh, you know, they were just trying to sell us that because they didn't want businesses to be able to flourish and make more money by, you know, causing a lot of toxins in the environment. No, this is something that they have been screaming and hollering about. And I'm telling you, we have to be woke. Just like we're woke on other things, this is an issue. We have to be woke. But Gloria, I'm going to go ahead and kick it to you. Tell me what's going on in Ellicott City.
Well, we ain't got no fire, so I need to be excited. We don't got no rain, so I need to be excited. You know, it is beautiful here. It is beautiful here. It's green, it's lush. And you know, I live around a lot of trees, so I tell everybody, welcome to Jurassic Park around here. Rabbits, horses, ants. I mean, everything. We just got rid of the cicadas and now the little bugs coming. It's crazy up in this camp, crazy. But we're having a good time. It's just good. It's just good to be here. You guys, seriously, I'm watching the climate change over here, and I'm watching COVID over here. I'm watching very carefully. I got a cousin who's very passionate about it. We cannot sleep on that either. Like you said, we got to stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. So I'm ready for this topic today because I think it's going to be a masterful topic. And I'm so excited because we have some callers that can totally connect with this topic. They connect with either giving us advice or they can connect with some questions for this because it is masterful. But I'm so excited to see my girl Sabrina got on some AirPods. Go ahead, Sabrina. Every time she leaves, I'll be like, wow.
Look, and I went Sabrina style. I was like, you know what? My big old expensive Bose was giving me problems. Right. Pull out these $14 ones.
Y'all need to stop. Technology. Let's go on over to Sabrina. Go ahead. You know you want to talk. Go ahead, talk.
I'm
surprised she can find them.
I've been having them sitting on my desk, but this is the deal. My phone is about to go dead, and I didn't have any other option to try these. And I said, I know they're going to be talking about, I hear feedback. Sabrina, you need to fix your situation. So here I am. It's Happy Friday. I got my earpods on, whatever you call them, but it's all good. You guys look amazing. Caterina and Crisette, you guys need to get with the program. You need earpods on today. You know, those wires are unattractive, okay? So get you some earpods on. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Sunshine, blue skies, Carolina blue skies. It's beautiful here. Kenny's out of town. Kennedy's out of town. Sydney's out of town. So it's just my baby boy and I. And I said, Quincy, he came in from practice and he's doing so well. He's working, shadowing a couple of doctors at UNC during his time this summer. And so he started his first research project and he got paid today. And I was like, okay, cute.
Where the money resides. Where the money resides.
Money resides. That's right. And so I said, Quincy, he was making friends to go to the movie, plans to go to the movies with his friends. And I said, well, Quincy, I thought we would go to dinner tonight. You know, and he's like, he looked at me, but he's so sweet, y'all. He said, Mama, I'll go to dinner with you. I'll tell my friends that I want to go to the movies. How about that for a 21-year-old son? So we're going to hang out. He's so sweet.
You crazy to ask him to give up his friendship to go to dinner with his wife.
No. This is the force of friendship with your kids, okay? Okay, this is the force. He said,
we're going to teach everybody how to connect by taking her son to dinner tonight.
What you don't know is how she looked at him. You know she gave him a bad time. He was
exactly.
Like, okay.
He gave him a side eye.
Yeah, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. And for everybody who's listening, I'm the nicest girlfriend. I'm the friendly girlfriend.
Not what the chat
I'm
said.
the most supportive girlfriend. Gloria is the messy one. Katrina is the gossipy one.
My AirPods keep going in and out
with the shady one. So just to set the record straight, those are the women. Those are the women and their specifications.
Yep, it's her. She had the mic, so she chose to tell her version of the story. I'm taking the mic now. The only thing we got in common today, Sabrina, is my phone. You cannot tell Gloria when your phone is going dead because mine is at 14%. Exactly. So I keep having to go between these and these.
You're frozen. You are so frozen. You need to move.
Everything. So I'm connected to the wire today. But what is happening over here? Yes, we're continuing. Today, it got mild. Actually, the weather is a lot milder these last 2 days. I'm looking out the window and the trees are moving. Like that's a big deal that there's a breeze where the trees are moving.
Wow.
So that's a big deal. I told y'all seriously, I'm about to go break out the scripture about the ants because them bad boys are. I told you about my aunt, but you know that Caesar came today and I was like, Caesar, I hope you got your ant gun. Do you know what they told me to do? I said, what can I do until you get here, Caesar? He said, get your Windex. Did y'all know that? I sprayed all them ants with Windex and killed them all. He said, where's the trail?
Windex and Clorox.
Windex, y'all. It didn't kill everything. I still see a couple, but I mean, all over. They was on my makeup. I was like, you ain't getting my makeup. You ain't getting my toothbrush.
Katrina, next time lemonade. No red juice. Okay.
Right.
She
needs to wait. No, wait,
lemonade, lemonade, iced tea.
She needs to tell everybody in the audience. Look, she needs to tell everybody in the audience. She had people over her house. Mistake.
Right.
They had punch. Mistake. It was a red punch. Mistake. And they spilled it.
Big
mistake. And so the ants are like, yeah.
Just a little bit of punch in the grout in your kitchen that got behind the microwave and boom. I mean, all in the dishwasher, everything. But I will tell you right now, we ain't got no ants. So now that was my excuse for not starting my meal plan because I'm like, I can't be cooking up in here. But today I am on my 5 meals a day. After he told me yesterday, he's like, my last client, she's in her 50s and she lost 16 pounds in 6 weeks, but you got to eat 5 meals a day. I'm like, give me my next bar. Where's my bar? Where's my bar? Give me another bar. I'm telling you. So I'm going to be munching right after the show. I'm going to get me a pair. So I got that going. I'm on the countdown until my grandkids come. Y'all, Monday, my grandkids come. I'm super excited. And can you believe I ain't seen my man for a month? And now today I'm officially starting to miss him. Okay. We've been getting so much work done around here. He's like, okay, it's over. I miss you a lot. I said, I miss you a lot. So it's the countdown.
Chris, you gotta send her. Did you send her the Instagram post you sent me, or was that just a private one?
Whoa.
It was private.
I sent it to Caterina as well and Gloria.
Oh, okay.
What did it say? What did it say, Sabrina?
Hey, you know it. It's important, okay? So just make sure you find your man and you share that with your man, okay?
Okay, I'm going to look.
And Chris is going to do a show, and next week, First Lady is going to do the show, okay? She's going to do the show, okay?
Oh my gosh, y'all are funny. So anyways, but we are definitely watching COVID up in here. I just got to say that. A lot of laughter, but I'm telling you, I saw a country concert. I swear it looked like Coachella. It had to be. I don't know. Coachella don't get 100,000 people. It might not have been 100,000 people, but it was tens of thousands of people in a regular concert jumping up and down.
No way.
Like, it's a problem.
In California,
we got issues. No, it was one of the more red states. Yeah.
Because California, y'all wearing masks again. That's
yeah.
And seriously, I'm flying to LA for 1 day next week. And so, I might have to be double masked because I'm on a plane going to LA, 500% increase.
Well, they said that it is the pandemic all over again for the unvaccinated. So here we go. The pandemic all over again for the unvaccinated.
Wow. And you know what? The sad part is how many people have to lose their lives before people make a decision to get vaccinated. So the saga continues. Well, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into this conversation because we're going to be going to break shortly. So we're talking about how do you connect in a new environment. And so it can be a new neighborhood, a new job. Maybe you're joining a health club. Maybe it's your children. You travel a lot, and so your children are going to a new school. But as you can imagine, all of these changes can cause anxiety, stress, fear, and some environments can be very intimidating. And so you guys have heard me talk about my family's big move. We're moving from one area in Detroit to another area, and the stress from moving to another area has not been stressful, especially because in the neighborhood we're moving in, there are 2 pastors that are there that Chuck and we both know both of them. I know both of the wives. We're good friends. One of the wives, she lives exactly across the street from me. So that's going to be amazing because I'll get a chance to hang out with her more now. So that's not causing me any stress. However, I know that there are times when, people have to pick up and move. And luckily, I'm still in the Detroit metropolitan area, so I didn't have to move out of state. But I often think about people who are in the military wives that, they signed up for it, their husband, they get an assignment and at the drop of a dime or a notice, they have to pick up and move. And I know that our girlfriend Sabrina, she's not a military wife, but she absolutely can relate. I know she's getting prepared and getting ready to move to another state. This is the first time she's moved to another state. So I think I'm gonna throw it to Sabrina first, and I want you to talk a little bit about, how do you wrap your head around falling in love with the place, and then a year or two later having to pick up and move to an entirely different place, sometimes not knowing anybody, and then talk about too with your kids. I know that they were, you moved during the time where they were young and had to go to different schools. So can you just kind of talk to both of those things, please?
Yeah, Chris. You know, when you said you're anxious, you could be full of anxiety, stress.
Right before the commercial break.
Right before the commercial. I'm sorry. I thought we had a little bit more time. Okay, Sabrina, we're going to take this break. We're going to come back and we are talking about how do you handle and how do you navigate change when you're in different environments.
So we're going to hear from Sabrina Goodwin Monday.
Right off of this break.
You're listening to 9:10 a.m.
We'll catch you right after the break.
Y'all, if you don't laugh, look at these women. They crack me up. Crisette does this big build up, and we're going to bring on Sabrina. And then we got a commercial break. It is so hilarious. So I'm really glad to be here with you guys. Really glad to be here with you guys. Can you hear me all right? Okay, so I want you guys to think. I want you guys to think about the way in which you connect. I want you to think about how you've connected with other people. I want you to think about where you might lack. You might put your comments in the comment section here, or you could call in. You could call in and tell a little bit about your story. And it just has to be just a little bit about your story, because people love to hear other people's voices and other people's stories. And that could be your gift. When you talk about meeting other people, like Sabrina going out to dinner with her son, ain't that cute? That is hilarious. My son turns 35 tomorrow, right? You guys, he was 1 when I started becoming an entrepreneur, and now he's 35, heading to Vegas to hang out with his friends. So there's a whole lot of connection there that's happening. So that's really exciting as well. There's the room getting ready. Oh, there we go. So I'm excited about what it's going to happen when you have a connection. I got a story to tell about our neighborhood. I bet you all got stories to tell about your neighborhoods as well. That's really going to be exciting. Now, next week, we have some shows that are coming up. So you definitely want to start telling your tribe about our tribe, so that you can all be a tribe together, because this is going to be so fun as we grow this part. Did you guys know that voice is one of the fastest growing communications on social media? That's why Clubhouse is taking off. That's why Facebook is taking off like this. That's why talk radio is taking off. It's that exciting. So, get the app, stay connected with us, and we're going to lean in for this next conversation about how to stay connected. When jingle starts playing, we know it's getting ready to start to go in. Chris is running the show today, so we're so excited about that. And I hope that your stomach is hurting like mine is already hurting. So you're ready to laugh and ready to have a good time, because it's getting ready to go down in just a minute. I think we're back. Here we go. Oh, hang up on myself. Facebook, this is hilarious. Tony, you need to call in about your dad in the military. You guys know you got to call in, because if you moved more than twice. Hey, Jalen, it's Gloria again. Okay. Here's the music.
Oh, thank you, Crisette. Thank you. And to explain to people, my husband's a coach, so I'm not a vagabond. So I don't just live from pillar to post. I'm not just out there homeless, but we do move quite a bit because of what Kenny does for a living. And I found early on, it was attitude. You just have to have a good attitude. Look at the cup half full as opposed to half empty. They're always, moving so much has done has opened my eyes to different parts of the country and how people live. And I've always been able to plug into the good thing is my business is always a network. And so I've always had a family wherever I go because of my business. And then the other is wrestling, our other community. It's a big community. And so we always are able to tap into those two communities right away. And every community I go to, the first thing I look for is a church and a hair salon. Okay. And most of the time I cannot ask that of my neighbors
and
because they are
not in that order.
Okay, not that order. First lady. And the church is always first. Can I get an amen, somebody? Okay. And I'm gonna tell you though, sometimes it's the hair salon. Okay, God knows my heart. Okay, and He says, Sabrina, get your hair did. Okay, get your hair synced out. And so this is the deal, you guys.
Because be clear, you can go to church online, but we can't get our hair done online yet. Okay.
Thank you, Katrina. Thank you. But really just asking, plugging into those networks and asking, referral system. Who do you know? Where do you go? And every place I've gone, I have to visit because what works for some people doesn't work for others. And so sometimes it's trial and error. But the biggest thing, so you're not stressed, you're not intimidated, you're not feeling sad, is just to have an open mind, to know that I've always had the motto, bloom where you were planted. Wherever God plants me, I will believe in blooming. And that's the attitude that I've given the kids as we've moved. They're going to be new friends. You'll still keep your old friends. We'll be able to visit back and forth. So I just think controlling your own narrative. You don't buy into it's going to be so bad. I mean, everybody I talk to now about Ohio, oh, it's going to be so cold. You're going to hate it. I mean, they're just telling me to get ready. And all I'm thinking about is I'm finding some snow. I'm going to learn how to snow sled. I'm going to make me the biggest, best snowman in the world. And
I'm closer to my girlfriend, Crisette Ellis.
Crisette, that's right. I'm closer to my girlfriend, Crisette. Absolutely. Numero uno. So, but really, I think it's mindset. I love networking. So I think it's easier for people who love people who are not afraid to meet new people. I love the Nextdoor app. I mean, that app is phenomenal. Every neighborhood that I've gone, I get on that app.
How do you use that? And just real quickly, tell us, how do you meet your neighbors? Because, I mean, years ago, growing up, and you guys can probably remember when you were growing up as children, you knew your neighbors. You knew who was to the left, to the right. You knew who was across the street. You had friends in the neighborhood. And nowadays, you literally can live in a neighborhood. I mean, where Chuck and I live, we knew the next door neighbor, but we had very little interaction. And it wasn't intentional. It's just that they live busy lives. We live busy lives. So it wasn't the same as it was growing up. So you've moved so many different places. Do you want to get to know your neighbors? If you do, what do you do as an individual?
Yeah. I want to get to know some of my neighbors for sure. And they do fun things. In most neighborhoods that we are a part of, there are lots of fun events. Right now we live in a golfing community. And so there's always something going on at the clubhouse. There's Sunday brunches we meet our neighbors sometimes for brunch and lunch. They have a reading group. They have a Bible study in the neighborhood that we can plug into. There's pickleball. And so now, I just think because of social media, you can get to know your neighbors if you choose to. And sometimes you want to be active with the neighborhood neighbors, and sometimes you don't. Because there have been times that I've been so busy with the kids that I don't really have a lot of time to do that extra stuff. But now that we are empty nesters, I'm looking for friends. Okay, hello, I'm looking for friends.
Okay, so you know how you can learn from doing things right and you can learn from doing things wrong. And Chris, you said back in the day, you wonder when you move into a new neighborhood, are the neighbors going to bring you an apple pie or are you going to bring them an apple pie, right? So you always wonder looking out your window, are they going to bring us a pie or do we need to go meet them? Well, where we live is only a few houses, like 4 houses, right? And then there's this easement that we all share, this big driveway. So the driveway had to be redone. And when we do stuff like that, we share it amongst all of us. Well, we've been here like 17 years and hadn't met the neighbor over there, right? So Ken went over there because he had to ask them for the money, right? So he goes over there with a bottle of wine and he says, "Hi, neighbors. I know you've lived here for 17 years, but we can fix our driveway." And do you know, we became fast friends. Is that hilarious? And then in the pandemic, we lived next to 16 acres of horse farm over here. And after during the pandemic, now we saw each other's houses and everything, but during the pandemic, they've had like 3 or 4 outside parties. And we've gone over their house and parties and everything. I mean, this pandemic has really done something, but you know, some people are like real neighborly, and I'm all in networking, but hi.
But you know what, Gloria, you said something that was so powerful, and I hope everybody was listening, because you said Ken took a bottle of wine, 17 years. For somebody else, that would have stressed them out. And I know for me, you can get all up in your head about, I can't go over there because it's been 17 years. I mean, what do you say to somebody? 17 years, and on top of that, you're getting ready to ask them for some money. You know, that takes a lot of courage and guts to do that. But I'm saying all that to say,
don't bring cheap wine. You know it's some good wine.
There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And look how it turned out. So sometimes you just got to say, you know what? What's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing is that they don't answer the door, or the worst thing they say no. But look, now you have a new friend. And so I just think that was very powerful.
Yep, a new friend and a beautiful driveway.
I can talk about this going both ways, because I can talk about this going to Chicago, and I can talk about this from Anthony coming here. So I'm going to tell my version in just a second. But let me just say, Anthony would jump in and say, I know more of her neighbors. You know, I got my mama who's here, who now, you know, she's at that age that she kind of reminds me a little bit of the member in Living Color who used to sit up and look outside the window. Like, she know everybody. She moving, she getting divorced, she kind of is at that point that she knows what's going on with everybody. Her kid is bad. We like them. We don't like their dog. I'm like, okay, mama, she got all the stuff. But Anthony walks, literally walking in a neighborhood is a big way. We have met like literally lifelong friends. Like, you know, there's a guy over here who's probably been there the whole time, but Anthony's befriended him. And if I was on the other side of the world and I needed something for my mom, like, I could call Dennis. But it's come from him walking. He has met neighbors. Vice versa, me going to Chicago, you know, I was all up in my head with the weather situation. And honestly, one of the bad things I did was stay in the house for a little bit, because I was like, how do you navigate? I didn't even have clothes. I had open toe shoes. Like, I was trying to figure out, how do I look cute and go out? But the hair salon is a big way. It is frustrating when you move to a new environment and you're new, but it's not new for your husband. So honestly, Chicago, the biggest thing about Chicago that stressed me out was driving, being a suburban chick and then being in the city and driving in the city. What's safe? What's not safe? The street signs, they swear. You just go down there, look at the street sign. I'm like, that street sign ain't there. There ain't no street sign there. You know, it really was stressful, but just a huge way. I wrote down some of the things that you said, Sabrina, too. That Nexter app has been huge. But literally, hair salon, where do you get your hair done? That was the best way for me to meet women, particularly Black women in Chicago. Just, that's my pickup line for finding new friends and just striking up a conversation. I always look for 1 or 2 people that could be like your anchors that you could just call. I know I could pick up the phone and I could call Cheryl. I could pick up the phone. I could call Beverly and I could say, I need a cleanest. I need somebody I need an alterations person. I needed this. I needed that. And then when you call them, Beverly sent me, you know, she's been going in for 25 years. And so that makes a big difference, because I can't imagine, you know, before the internet's okay, how you would find people and what that looked like. So I will say that Anthony does it better than me, but you got to get out of the house, walk around your neighborhood. That's a good way to meet some neighbors.
Yeah, that's good, Katrina. That's good. Hey, we have a caller. We want to take our caller. We have Marathon on the line. Hey, Marathon, what's up? You there?
What's how y'all doing?
Hey, issues.
You got issues.
Yeah, you know what? The way I keep things together, I keep all my routines in place. I get up. I'm a writer. I'm a songwriter. I get up at 3:40 a.m. every morning because that's when you're at the height of your creativity.
True.
Wow. And everything is fine after that.
What time do you go to bed? Marathon, what time do you go to bed?
Say it again.
What time do you go to bed if you get up at 3:40?
I can hardly hear you. Say it one more time.
She said, what time do you go to bed, Marathon?
It varies. After I look at the news.
Okay.
Around 12 o'clock, maybe.
Okay. So Marathon, have you always lived in Detroit? Have you had to move? Have you ever found yourself?
I moved. I got married at 20, and I moved to Texas because of my father-in-law. He talked us into moving to Texas.
And how did that move turn out?
Well, I was hesitant at first because he was very controlling man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was young. I didn't know I was being had. But he wanted to have his baby girl with him.
Okay. Now, how did you adjust? So Marathon, when you're introduced into a new environment, whatever it is, I know you talk about songwriting, and I don't know, if you've been in environments where you were the new kid on the block, maybe you're the new person playing. What are some of the things that you have done to make that environment not as intimidating?
Well, I was blessed because at age 20, I met Stevie Wonder. I was in a group that put together. It was called Phoenix Rising out of Detroit. And I was the baby in the group. And so I was very blessed. And we were on per diem. We were being paid per week. And he moved us out to L.A. And I recorded in Wonderland Studio, his studio.
Wow. Wow, Marathon. Every time you call in, we find out something new about you. And we appreciate you calling. We got issues. It's not we got problems. We got issues, okay? We got issues.
That's right. There's a difference between issues and problems. You're right.
Absolutely. But thank you so much for sharing that with us. We appreciate you, Marathon. Have a good one.
All right. Have a nice weekend.
All right. You do the same.
Katrina, and then I want to go to Gloria. So Katrina, I know you've often talked to us about how you were the girlfriend that got married a little bit later in life. You didn't have natural children, but now you are the bonus mom and you are Gigi to, a lot of grandchildren. So that right. That is, you stepped in when you got married to Pastor Anthony Earl. You stepped into a lot of new environments. And I mean,
right.
That's not something for the faint of heart. That's for somebody that's like, know who they are and are willing to, say, okay, I'm on this ride and let's go all the way. So kind of talk to us about the different nuances that you had to face being married to Dr. Earl.
The first environment that I stepped into was flying to Chicago with all the kids sitting down at a long table at Cheesecake Factory. And half of them were loving me and the other half were like, who is you and why are you with my daddy? Okay. So one of the things that I have learned to do is just love. However, as challenging as it was, my parents were divorced at 15. And I remember watching how both of my parents would introduce other people that weren't my parents to me and how it felt at 15, at 16. And so I knew it wasn't about me. I wasn't going to like anybody. Like nobody was going to be my daddy. So I knew I never would try to be their mother, but I know that I would I was just comfortable being me. And honestly, some of that I learned from you. I certainly learned from watching it with you, Gloria. And so just your own confidence. I mean, everything from going to the fish fry, you know, the way that they would do their fish fry is different from the way that my family would do it. But you learn real quick how to operate in the environment because their family is big. It wasn't just the kids, but the extended family and the way they do it, the way they do Christmas. You just learn to walk into that environment. But I just really tell you, I've been blessed. And I give his family total credit. They really have loved me as if I feel like I've been there forever. And, you know, just walking in those environments, you got to walk in with your head held high, like you own the place, because if you are timid, you don't want to just go sit in the environment and wait for people to come to you. You be the one to introduce yourself. You know, it's really, really important. Tony talked about this. Tony, you should call in again, because you talked about how you get to the point and you make people like you. In the beginning, they might look at you with the side eye, but when they see that you hold your own, and it makes a difference. Certainly Anthony played a role in that, not trying to get me to be somebody who I wasn't. Then it was fine, you know. It's been a process. Yeah, a growing process for real.
Wow, a growing process. And you know what? Somebody said, and I don't know who said it or if I read it. They said whenever you go to a party, when you're the person that enters in, the onus is on you to greet everybody, and it's not the onus on everybody else, because you are entering an environment that's already established. So that was like, wow. So you are the person that walk in saying hi to everybody and so on and so forth. Sometimes you sit and you think you walk in the room and everybody's going to stop what they're doing and they're going to, you know, say hello, what's going on. So that's really good. And I love how you said,
Chris, I want you to talk about the church piece too, because I just know you walk in and somebody's been knowing Pastor Anthony for 30 years and they have an ongoing conversation and now you're new to the conversation. It's like, how was that for you walking into that church environment? Because church folk, let me just say, they can love you and they can also cut you with a knife. Them church folk ain't always line upon line, precept upon precept. Sometimes it is the passiest, the messiest. This is how you're supposed to be as the first lady. You didn't come to the cookout. You ain't here. You doing your business.
Girl, let me tell you. I remember.
Tell us how you really feel.
Listen, I remember when I was dating Chuck.
Right.
And Chuck was, because of who his father was in the community, the church, and all they had done, he was kind of like a big deal in the community, in the church. He was single and so on and so forth. So when we were dating, I really did not want to be introduced to his church early on. I didn't, and I'll never forget. And I think he set me up, but he came to pick me up. We were going out to dinner. It was on a Sunday. And he said, oh, you know what? I left my briefcase at the church. I need to go and get it. So it's like, okay. And I just assumed when we got there, I would stay in the car. He'd go get the briefcase and then come back. But he gets to the church and I'm really surprised because this is in the afternoon. My church is over. I assume everybody was gone. And I'm looking around, there's all of these cars in the parking lot. So I'm sitting there, he turns the car off. And so I'm like, why is he turning the car off? He's like, oh, I want you to come in. When I tell you, I can still feel I could still feel what it felt like. My heart was beating because I knew everybody was going to be looking. Who is that? Where'd she come from? How did he know her? And I promise you, I felt like I was walking down the plank. I walked in there and they were having dinner. You know, on Sundays, they would do this dinner. Everybody was eating. You could hear all the chatter and noise. When we walked in, it was like the place was silent. And everybody was just looking. And I was like, oh, God. But I mean, it was just, that environment. Now, if it was Gloria would have walked in. Hey, everybody, I'm Gloria Mayfield. Hey, everybody, I'm good. I walked in like, can we hurry up and get out of here? So that was an intimidating time, especially because I wasn't a member of the church. And I remember even after we got married, kind of initially feeling like the outsider, because I was not raised at that church and there was, so many other people at that church and whatnot. But I'm going to tell you, the bottom line is the best thing that you can do when you're in a new environment is, number one, to be confident in your own skin and who you are. And then, you know what? I immediately joined the choir. And I promise you, joining the choir made all the difference in the world because
really,
yes, it did. It gave me an opportunity.
Can you sing, Chris? Can you hold a note?
You learned so much on the show. We got issues.
Sing alto. Just hold it. Don't open your mouth too wide.
Katrina, I make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
I was in choir too, and I definitely can't sing, but I was holding a note. I was keeping the right tune, okay?
That is okay. Wait, let me. Okay.
I was going to say we all have found ourselves, you know, in positions at some point in our life that are uncomfortable because it is a new environment. But Gloria, I was going to ask you.
Wait, Chris, let me tell you this. Wait, before you say that, let me say this because since you told that story, I'm gonna tell this story. Like when I first was meeting Ken's, because I lived in Boston and he lived in Baltimore, and so we had a long distance relationship for a long time, and so he was having a party. And you said it just right, Chris. I walked into this party. I didn't know any of his friends. I didn't know any of them girls he was dating. I didn't know about it, right? And number one, I had this fabulous, short, mini, tight African outfit that I had gotten at Sabrina's debut. It was fabulous. It was fashion show. I walked into that party. I started shaking everybody's hand. Hi, my name is Gloria. I'm Ken's girlfriend. I live in Baltimore. I mean, I live in Boston. I sure did. I walked around. I met everyone.
You can see it. You know what you did.
Hi, my name is Gloria. I'm Ken's girlfriend. Hey, I'm Ken's girlfriend. I live in Boston. I know you don't see me often. Oh, girl, I met everybody. I met the DJ, everybody. I was like, yeah. I even had bangs at the time. I was like, yeah.
That is funny. Listen, if you didn't know, I'm his girlfriend, okay?
Right.
But let's talk about that, you guys, because everybody, it takes confidence. It takes confidence. It takes self-esteem. It takes belief. And that's not everybody has that skill set. So let's just spend a little bit of time on how do you develop that? Yes, Chris, what are we going to say?
1 second. We have a couple of callers. We're having such a good time. I'm totally missing our callers. We have a couple of callers. Benita, are you still on the line? We're so sorry.
We're just enjoying this conversation among ourselves. Benita, are you there? Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Yes, talk to us. I have to tell you, I was getting my hang up because I'm enjoying the conversation too much. I certainly didn't have to call in today. You know, so ladies, how are you all doing today?
We good.
Great. You know what? What I have to say is very in line with what you guys have already said, but I'm going to add a little different twist to it. Imagine this. Imagine conjuring up the courage to live in a small European town that speaks French, okay? So here I am by myself. I'm now trying to find where I'm going to live after my divorce, and I'm trying to find a perfect spot, and I found a place in the hills of Switzerland. So in line with everything you guys have said, there's 3 things I absolutely, positively had to have in order to do this. A, courage. Once I found where I wanted to live, it didn't matter that I didn't speak the language, whether it was French, Italian, or German, because in Switzerland there are 3 languages, and one of them is not English, thank you very much. So I found this little town that I absolutely loved, and I had the courage to say, you know what? This is where I want to live. I'm going to live here. So courage. The second thing that I had to have was humility. Right? And that I was entering into a town that I had to acclimate, integrate into, and follow the rules. And by the way, the Swiss, you know how you integrate with the Swiss society? You follow the rules. You follow the rules. If you follow the rules, they will love you. If you don't follow the rules, there's nothing you can do. There's no pot of gold you can give them that will make them like you. Okay? So I had to learn to respect them for their rules and what they do and how they do what they do. Lastly, I had to find a way to integrate into a society or a culture that's not normally very quote-unquote friendly. You know, let me tell you what I had to do. Girl, let me tell you, everywhere I go and everything I do, I can walk. I can walk to the post office. I can walk to the grocery store. I can walk to the train station in a little bitty town. So I just started walking and smiling and waving at everybody. You know, hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? In English, thank you very much. Isn't that nervy? That's nervy. The town speaks French. And here I am talking to people English, waving at everybody. Go ahead, walk it. Walk it. Exactly. And the long story short, I've been there now for 2 years. And they know me now. They know that's a crazy African-American lady that lives up the hill, that lives in this town. But I had to figure out a way to be friendly in my way. And that's not what I had to do. So I agree with everything you guys have said. Courage, humility, and respect. That's what it all takes when you're trying to do something brand new. So there it is.
Wow, Vanita, that is so awesome. I mean, you know, we talk about, you know, Sabrina talked about moving to Ohio. I'm talking about moving 15 miles up the road. And you just talked about moving to Europe, to Switzerland, right? Don't speak the language. So, you know what? It's just amazing. Sometimes you think your life is challenging and difficult until you hear somebody else's story. You have to just look at yourself and say, are you for real? Get over it and keep it moving. So, Vanita, thank you so much for calling in and sharing that with us. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you.
You're welcome. We have another caller. Tony, are you still with us, Tony?
Listen, I'm about to hang up on y'all. Okay.
We can't have our callers hanging up. We cannot have our callers hanging up.
Who's over there? What's going on? So listen, this is what I want to say. My dad was military and my husband was military. So I was born in Germany. And side note, fun fact, I was born in Germany the year they built the Berlin Wall, and my son was born in Germany the year they took it down. So that's like, right. But anyway.
Wow.
I know. Growing up military, you move so much. And as a kid, it's like really interesting, just moving and moving and moving. Like every 3 years, that was back when the military used to move you a lot, especially the Air Force. And so I can remember living in base housing, and a new family would move in, and I can remember with my little 6, 7, 8-year-old self, we'd just go knock on the new people's door. Hi, do you have kids? So the kids would come out, and we would just kind of bring the kids into the fold, you know? So it was just, that was just what I can remember doing that many times. I think moving so much and having to reacclimate yourself helps develop people skills, because you just learn how to figure it out and make the best of the situation that you're in. Right. And so then, you know, as an adult, when I got married and he was military, the moving just continued. And then when I became single, I moved again. And in the one city that I moved to when I was getting divorced, I moved 3 times in 5 years. To a different house. Wow. I like to move. I love to move. I love moving into a new place. I love packing up, moving, unpacking. It's just, I'm so used to it now, and I start to get antsy after a couple of years. But anyway, I think it was a great way to grow up. I have friends all over the country, lifelong friends who are family, because we were all in that military situation together. So I really do think it's what you make of it. That's my comment.
Well, thank you for holding on, Tony. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing that with us. That's so awesome. Thank you for being one of our followers and just adding so much to We Got Issues. We appreciate you, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so Gloria, I want to ask you this question before we go off. You've been, as long as I've known you, you've always been a super achiever. And I know when you worked in corporate, you were promoted. So a couple of things. How did you handle going into a new environment? Once you get promoted, now you with a new set of individuals, and sometimes, you know, that can be a challenge because you're the new kid on the block. So I have a couple questions. I'm trying to get it in before we go to break. And then how do you handle when you've been in position where you've been on stage with the likes of Oprah Winfrey and Tony Robbins, and a lot of times they may have been in different things together, and you're the new kid on the block, walking in, meeting all of these people. How do you do it?
Right. You're right, Chris. And it can be something that takes back because they're having conversations. They saw each other last year. They saw each other the year before. They hang out. They go to dinner or whatever. You walk in the room. You walk in the green room. You're the new kid on the block. My philosophy has always been, I'm the new kid on the block. I remember a friend of ours used to say, act the custom. Just act the custom. Whatever situation you are in, act the custom. So if they're in a group standing around, I walk right up to that little circle and wait for me to say something. I walk up and say, because I believe in that you can't wait to be invited. You have to walk in. And sometimes when you walk that way, they open up their arms. Most nice people, when you walk into the circle, they open up and let you come into the circle. Right. So I have always been that way, but I'm also very astute to watch, because sometimes when you're with people, they don't like a lot of new people to be in their circle. They don't want you running in there because of, who you think they are or whatever. You might have any assumptions. So I'm always very astute to pay attention. Are they open to, so I look at the body language. You look at the body language. Are they have an open body? I will tell you, Oprah had a very, she had a very cautious yet open spirit. Like, she was cautious because she doesn't want everybody running to her. But once she knew that you were part of the program, she was very open, I'll take pictures with you, very want to get to know you. Ken and her have a picture. He shows that picture every time I wake up and every time I go to sleep, he shows a picture of him and Oprah. Where she's laughing all over him and all like that. Look at me and Oprah. I'm like, would you please let me go to sleep? I mean, it's just so crazy. So, those people, they really are phenomenal people. They get to those heights because of their people skills are amazing for the most part, but you just have to sort of pay attention, and you have to be confident, and you cannot wait for an invitation. You just have to walk into the group because the invitation is not going to necessarily come.
Wow, that's powerful. You talking about courage. But again, at the end of the day, you've been invited into the room because of what you have to offer. And so, you can't sit there and be intimidated. But at the same token, I love that you said you still have to watch. Okay, you still have to watch to make sure that it's not interpreted the wrong way. Oh my goodness, that's the music. That's the music. I can't believe that we're coming to an end. When I tell you, I have thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with y'all today. When I tell you, this has been such a rich conversation. How do you navigate connecting in new environments? Well, you guys, we are the force of friendship. We are here Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. We are excited to be on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. And you know what? We'll be with you on tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, have a good weekend.
Well, that was fun. Look at Sabrina. I love it. She go. Bye, Facebook. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you. See you Monday, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. See ya.